The song True Love Waits live in Oslo by Radiohead these days, and it's genuinely one of my favorite songs, I think. I can never be sure, but one thing I do know for sure is the fleeting sense of the things that you never did, the things that you knew you had the opportunity to do, and the movies you never get to watch for yourself, right? In every movie, you get the people that miss each other by 5 minutes, or because they just didn't stay long enough, and too often there's not a choice to make, right? Because if you hadn't stayed those 5 minutes to wait for someone, you would have maybe spent 5 minutes more doing work, right? And maybe that's valuable to you in that moment. You can't spend your life waiting for nothing, right? And I agree with that. I love that. But at the same time, sometimes there is a choice to make, right? Sometimes life goes wrong. Life goes just a little wrong. And you have to decide if you want to take the option that is risky, right? It's dumb. It's a waste of time, no matter how you cut it, right? But so often you meet people and things and you make the best of a situation, right? Increasingly, our research shows us that the more a choice feels unchangeable, the less we feel like we regret it, and the more we feel like we're happy with it. And we're also happier than we expected to be with the choice. I just think that's really interesting. And I also think it connects wholly into this idea that you should do things, right? When you have the choice, when the world gives you this choice to do something that's weird, that's illogical, that's irrational, and it's gonna be okay for you, right? It's a night out and you might, I don't know, rally just a little bit more, but you never know what you might meet, right? You might meet a Luxembourgish girl that you'll maybe see twice more in your life. But I don't know. You never know, right? You never know. And that's kind of the point. What is life, right? The other day I watched a clinician, like a doctor, talk about his life, and he just said that he'd rather spend more time with his family in his life. He was probably 85, nearing the end of his life, but he said, I spent my whole life trying to justify my existence, that in the end I didn't really have to, right? I lost what fun was. And I keep coming back to this idea of fun because I really believe that it's so important, right? It's just so crucial to our idea, right? Over and over, we just show ourselves through science that play is important, but what is science gonna tell us about this, right? I'm not denying that science is incredibly influential and necessary and useful in our lives, but I'm just saying simply that once we have science, right, who is science to deny us or validate our fun and our well-being in our lives, right? If science denied meditation for decades before they did the actual research on it. And then they did, and they realized, hey, this is real. And they prescribed smoking to kids, and they drank Coca-Cola, right? If something doesn't feel right, it's because it might not be, right? And it depends on the thing, obviously. Like, there's also some logic to be there, right? Like, chemotherapy sucks and feels horrible, but if you'd rather die, then that's a different choice, right? It's the best thing we have right now. It just really sucks. It's the same way we're not very good at killing things. Many of the execution methods we use, I'm pretty sure, make people feel like they're getting strangled or losing air, right? But we're not good at ending life because, honestly, we weren't really meant to end lives on purpose, right? Life ending is painful. It's painful, and those who live to an old age and don't regret their lives, typically, at least how I see it, they usually or in some way feel ready to die, right? They feel ready to go. It's their time and it's okay. And sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, it's the only part of life where I've seen evolution really care for us, for our mental well-being, is when things are unchangeable. When you feel good about your choice that you couldn't have made any different way, right? When you took all of your evidence and you made that choice, it couldn't have been anything else. And that's something kind of beautiful. It's the only thing that you can really process in that way. Evolution doesn't really care about you. But if nothing cares about you, then you have to, right? And I know that's scary, and I know that sucks. But we spend so long running from that idea that we forget it all of in itself. And every last opportunity that you've missed, right? Obviously you're gonna find other ones, but those 5 minutes studying, I assure you, you're gonna forget them. They're not as useful as you think, right? They're not as useful as that connection that you make. Not as useful as the fun that you have that might make you even more productive later, right? Because you feel like you had a nice night out. I just really think you should go do the things that you really want to do, right? If you know what you want to do, you have that privilege. So many people don't know what they want to do. And there's something so beautiful about having so much energy, so much motivation to do something. Being held back by anything but yourself is such a privilege, right? To not be held back by constraints like money. And obviously there's never enough money, right? You could always have more to start doing something. But if you have enough to where you could start, but you're scared of what other people will think of you, you're scared of how good you'll be at it, you're scared of I don't really care what, honestly. If you want to do something, I believe it's a human right, almost. We have so much wealth in this world, especially in these countries, that you should be able to do whatever you want, right? And a lot of the time you really can. It's just good to take it with some sense, right? And obviously there's moderation and everything, but as long as you nail that, then nobody can blame you for anything. And you're pursuing the goal of life, right? We struggled for so long as hunter-gatherers, and now our version of struggling as hunter-gatherers is struggling paycheck to paycheck. And that's cruel. That's a cruelty of the world. And it's something that's so unfair. But if you can just scramble together enough for yourself, right? And if you can't, the great thing is that the only person losing that is you. But you gave it a shot. And what else do you want in life, right? Everything in life, every big thing around you is built by somebody who took some leap of faith and put money into something, right? I don't know which other way to put it. Everything around you. Everything was built by somebody being good at something and piling on studies and thoughts and experiments and science and philosophy. But at the end of the day, there's a human behind it all. There's a human behind all of the things that you do. And I don't know. I think there's so much wasted potential out there. Not because people are lacking in skills to impress the world, to change the world, to make people think differently, but rather because plenty of people just are too scared to do it, right? I remember reading an article about 6 or 8 years ago when some 11-year-old beat like some grandmaster, some Indian child, and I was just thinking, like, what about the Sri Lankan children? What about the Rwandan children who can't afford to play chess all day, but who would be even better than this kid, right? Isn't that beautiful? To push the limits always. Isn't that what we've always wanted as humanity, right? And if you want that too, if you want the humanity that keeps doing that, the humanity that progresses further, I don't know what else you might want in your life, right? If you want humanity to die, then I can't really fathom why right now, but if that is what you want, then this is a bit of a different case. But for those who want humanity to survive, I really encourage you to do the things. Everybody's the chosen one. We're so lucky to be here. If you're in a position where you know what to do and you have the resources to do it, you have no excuse not to do it, in my opinion. Not doing it because of your own self is just cruel to yourself, and it's only yourself. Nobody's gonna tell you to do it, right? Except me right now, I guess. But please, get out there. Please get out there. You deserve this as much as anyone. Do the shit that you love, that you're great at. Or that you love and you're shit at. Who cares, right? Put it out there. Get something out there. Explore. I know it's quality over quantity, but if you're just starting out, I think it's quantity over quality, honestly. And that's how it always is, right? As a child, you lick, you touch, you taste, you smell everything around you. It's the sensory motor stage, right? It's exploration. You have to do that in your life too. We go to school, we try all of the different subjects until the world decides we're old enough to not. And then we're forced to choose one, and both situations feel horrible at their own time. I hated doing writing in second grade, but now I'm in college and that's kind of all I want to do now that I'm in classes that have less writing. I had to specialize, and now I kind of want to go back. I'm sad that I'll never take a chemistry class again. But I hated that shit. And so it's great to just appreciate where you are. And to be able to take that further every time. To use the privileges that you have right now. They will always be there, right? They will always come back. They will always change. They will always be slightly different. But those privileges that you have right now, I think it's really great to use them in a way that's unique to you, that feels like you. If you make a combination of moves that's as unique as you, if you talk in a way that's as unique as you, if you write in a way that's as unique as you, if you compose, whatever your art is, whatever you do, it can be anything. And I mean anything can be art, as long as it gives you that feeling of artistic release, that feeling of de-stress, that feeling that you love, that feeling that people do this and other people can connect with you, not even through you, but through your work. And that's something so beautiful. If you get that feeling, you're making art. And everybody deserves to make art. Everybody deserves to make art. And I'll say it one more time, because everybody deserves to make art. And everybody can make art, right? It's something that's innate to all humans. Maybe minus a very small minority, but I think everybody's got an art. Please, get out there. Find yours. Go do something amazing. I believe in you.